Yo, it's Marlon Speaks Live, yeah, I'm saying what they hide. History uncensored, let the real survive. Yeah, it's truth over comfort, I don't pick no side. If it shake the room a little, let the truth collide. Cause it's Marlon Speaks Live, no script, no disguise. I don't sell no lies, just to monetize. Cause the past still breathing and it never dies. Yeah, it's Marlon Speaks Live, now the truth will rise. Yo, it's Marlon.
What up, everybody? Man, yeah, so shout out to Ryan Coogler, the director of Sinners, and Michael B. Jordan, the main character who played two characters in that movie. Man, I mean, a straight up masterpiece, like in every possible way. I can't even put into words how I felt about Sinners. It was felt like I felt every piece of it, like all of the metaphorical different scenes, all of the things that represented what the music industry and white America in general represents in a historical way. And by Ryan making a movie in a horror, in that genre of movies, and to attribute the vampire to, what we would call like, basically exploitation of black art, of our society in general, of our culture, of our people, exploitation in general, right? And for him to do it in an artistic way. I mean, listen here. I really felt that movie. What I want to do is I want to add some relevance as far as the backlash. Imagine that. Imagine someone getting backlash for breaking records, right? But yeah, we're gonna do a deep dive into that. I'm queuing that up right now. Let's see here. Yeah, let's watch this. Let's watch the hate. Yeah, let's watch the hate first. Yeah, because this be my first time seeing the hate. I've been hearing about it, but I didn't see it firsthand. So yeah, let's watch. Let's watch this hate. Gotta always get a good dose of that hate and recycle it, and so you can be great. It's good to get the hate. Trust me, it feel real good to get the hate. So let's get this hate. I'm not going to add the link to this because I don't support it. But
if we just made this movie in reverse, it would be considered the most racist movie that has ever been made since Birth of a Nation.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Have you seen this movie, Sinners?
No, but I saw. I to be fair, I watch college football in the NFL all during football season, so I miss everything. But I know the movie came out, and for people who don't know, the Oscar nominations came out, and I presume you're going to tell people the significance of Sinners relative to nominations here.
Sinners is the most Oscar-nominated movie of all time.
Yeah.
If any of you are curious. Now, I have not watched this is the conundrum that I face here, everyone. Because Carrie and I actually tonight, we're having a sort of a stay-in date night. So we got a little bit of babysitter time. We have a little, and we're going to try to watch a movie. I'm making her dinner. We're having a, nice husband-wife night. And I'm like, do I watch this? Do I watch some of this movie beyond what I already know about it? What I know about it is that it's a movie essentially about, it's like a vampire movie.
Yeah.
But the cast is overwhelmingly black. The bad guys are white. And white racism is very much like a big theme in this, in some capacity.
Look,
like that's what I know about this. So now we're all supposed to sit around and pretend that this movie about the evil white people trying to, it's like, what was that movie with not Key and Peele, but it was, what I'm talking about? Get Out.
Yeah.
About the white family that's like trying to steal the guy's black. One of the worst pieces of trash I've ever seen.
I actually didn't mind. I actually didn't mind that movie.
Clay is, I'm going to tell you guys this. Clay is a wise fellow on many things, and he did nail his pick with the national championship game. However, Clay, your movie takes, honestly.
I didn't think that movie was that bad. But here is where I bet we would sign an agreement. So let's go back in time, because I remember getting a lot of heat for this. Oscar nominations came out, and I presume you're going to.
Okay, so this is my first time ever watching this channel. So what I gather, they are like new Siskel and Ebert. So this is what they do, So, yeah, I guess this is what they do. React to movies. I don't know. I'll probably never watch it again.
You're going to tell people the significance of Sinners relative to nominations here.
Sinners is the most. We're going to try to watch a movie. I'm making overwhelmingly black. The bad guys.
For this, when I said Black Panther was a mediocre superhero movie. And I see every superhero movie because I have young kids and they like superhero movies. And I went and watched Black Panther, and because it had a black lead actor cast set in Wakanda, and because it had a black director.
It just wasn't a good movie.
It was just,
I'm sorry, it wasn't a good movie. It was okay.
It was an average superhero movie that Marvel made. And it was treated as if it were a cinematic masterpiece. And if you just said anything like what I said, for those of you who are Marvel movie hero watchers, or if you just like superhero movies, Blade, I think we talked about this. Blade with Wesley Snipes back in the day.
I love that movie.
Infinitely better black lead superhero movie than Black.
Listen, racist white people, let me tell y'all something. You're not supposed to like Black Panther. You're not supposed to like Sinners. That movie wasn't made for y'all to like. It was made for y'all to dislike. Just like a lot of historical movies y'all think are great, it was made for us to not like. See what I'm saying? It wasn't made for you to like. It was made for y'all to not like. To not only not like, to not even understand. Y'all not supposed to even understand Sinners. That's why we love it so much. Because we feel it. We don't just understand Sinners, we felt it. Because you know why? It aligned with some lived experiences. Y'all don't have that. Y'all have this Rockwell Norman, this Norman Rockwell type of ideology of an image with the white picket fence and the whole the white image of Jesus, all that hunky-dory thing that y'all think is what America is, all that fake stuff. That's what y'all believe. Like, that's what y'all want to see, movies that represent that. Not live reality. Actually, anti-lived non-reality. That's what y'all wanna y'all wanna live or live non-reality. Let me say that. Because a lot of y'all live lives just like everybody else, but never feel nothing. So Sinners wasn't made for y'all to even understand. So of course you're gonna not like it. Black Panther, it was in the same vein, by the same director. He didn't make that movie for racist white people. Y'all supposed to say you hate that movie. But like I always say, hate make you great. So it's good that y'all hate that. That's why the movie became so popular. When y'all hate something, y'all people make money off the things that y'all hate. You know why? Because it's more of y'all than it is us. So that's actually a recipe for success with black content creators or movie creators, anybody, anything that relates to media. If we make music that y'all hate, we get rich. If we make movies that y'all hate, we become very rich and popular. The key is some kind of feeling, whether you love or you hate, but it's got to be something on both sides. And if what's been proven is if y'all hate it the most, it becomes very popular. So that's a good thing when we hear these guys that you could tell probably never really been around no black person, you know, straight up nerds. They don't know. They never like felt, you know what I'm saying? Like they don't understand when we talk about God talk, you know, the power of the tongue. They don't understand these type of concepts in general. So they wouldn't understand the felt messages that we seen in that movie Sinners. So yeah, they gonna hate it. They supposed to though. Like I said, it wasn't made for them.
Black Panther. But Blade was back when people were sane, and you just went to a movie and you were like, oh, this.
Right, yeah. Who directed Blade? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna look it up. Who directed Blade? Blade, I'm sure, wasn't directed by nobody that was in tune with themselves like Ryan Coogler. Let's look up and see who directed Blade. Blade was a good movie. I liked the Blade too. Stephen Norrington. Okay, if y'all can see this guy right here, that's Stephen Norrington. Right. Look like might be a liberal white dude. A liberal white guy. I don't know him. I never heard of him. So, he's apparently from England. So yeah, most likely he a liberal white guy from England. So yeah, not Ryan Coogler. Ryan Coogler is from the Bay Area of like Oakland, like black, you know what I'm saying? Black America.
Oh, this is good or it's not. And you didn't suffuse everything with identity politics. The reason,
you know, Clay, I have to tell you this. This is important. A long time ago in Nigeria.
So they call lived experiences identity politics. Wow.
Yeah. When I was on assignment there, I went to the Wesley Snipes VIP lounge. True story.
Was it actually affiliated with Wesley Snipes, or did they just use his name?
No, there was a big oil painting, a full oil painting on the wall, and everyone there just referred to Mr. Snipes like he was kind of in the room. And he had been there.
Did he have ownership stake?
One time.
Okay.
He had been there one time. This was in Abuja, the capital, and they love him so much there that they just said, they're like, we're renaming the hottest nightclub in the city after.
That's amazing.
So it was the Wesley Snipes VIP lounge. So you guys understand, when I say that I celebrate Wesley Snipes' whole catalog, I really mean it. I mean, I'm Wesley top to bottom. I love that guy.
So the movie Blade, and I think they made a Blade 2 or whatever, but they were good. The reason why this Sinners movie got 16 nominations, the most in the history of Hollywood, is because Hollywood is desperate to prove that they aren't racist, and they will wildly overrate anything that black filmmakers and black actors are involved in. That's the reality. It's purely identity politics. Now, one caveat, Buck. I do think there are far fewer movies being made, so I suspect that the number of nominations going to movies is bumped up, because what's the Leonardo DiCaprio movie? It also got 14 nominations. I didn't see that one either, but it's like super liberal too.
You see, I just think you're too easy. I'm way get off my lawn about movies than you are. Like you're like, it was like reasonably entertaining. I love to throw hate at bad movies because there used to be amazing movies. They stopped making good movies circa 2010. Every movie made for the last 15 years has Maverick was pretty good. I mean, it was a little corny, but it was pretty good. Every movie made over the last 15 years has been kind of garbage compared to what movies were when we were growing up. Okay, Sinners, Clay, the most nominated movie of all time, more than The Godfather,
Citizen Kane.
I mean, pick your favorite, people like Deer Hunter. I did not like Deer Hunter. All you Deer Hunter people can come at me. I don't care. Pick your favorite movie. For me, it's like Braveheart and Saving Private Ryan and, Gladiator and those kinds of movies. This is how they describe Sinners. A vampire horror set in the Mississippi Delta critiquing systemic racism, white supremacy, and the insidious nature of white cultural appropriation, portraying vampires. I'm reading this off of Google. Portraying vampires as metaphors for white exploitation that preys on black culture and dreams. I mean, am I?
Yeah, like he don't understand that. That's so spot on. Like, wow. See, this is what one of the sisters said on the Melanin Academy channel. She said that I forget the term she used, but diversion, basically. Them they don't even want to see what's right in front of them. He just read that, and he think that that's bullshit. He mad about that.
Systemic racism, white supremacy, those kinds of movies. This is how they describe Sinners. A vampire horror set in the Mississippi Delta critiquing systemic racism, white supremacy, and the insidious nature of white cultural appropriation, portraying vampires. I'm reading this off of Google.
Right. And what that represent is the blues, jazz era of the United States, how those backwood country boys, black men from the Mississippi Delta at that time, passionately making music and it being exploited. That's a big that's not nothing that the black community in America is happy and proud about. Not at all. This hip hop generation that we're part of is more aligned with what we proud of. Black label owners, Cash Money Records, Master P. I love Master P too. Let me stop right there. Master P. I'm sure his name, calling himself Master P, was a kick to the masters of the past. The ones that used to be a master of us. No, he the master. You see, Master P, all the New York Diddy, and I'm not with the Diddy, what he represent as far as his lifestyle, but what he did in music was great. Dr. Dre, all of the black label owners, Rap-A-Lot Records, all of hip hop is comprised of mostly black label owners who have, monetized their own art. And majority of the hip hop artists today have their own label, every one of them. That's what we love about hip hop. Whereas in the Mississippi Delta of way back when, 100 years ago, they, a lot of them, they didn't know, but I'm sure they could have learned. I'm sure that they could have took on the knowledge of simply just owning a label, doing your own publishing, getting your own, royalties, just and basically hiring some people and having them where they're contractors rather than you're signed to them. Because all the people they was signing to was basically could have done like contract work. They could have found anybody to do that work. Even the mass duplication and marketing, I'm sure they could have contracted that out, at that time. But I'm sure they didn't know. We talking about a time in America where black people didn't even know how to read, let alone understand the gravity how to exploit their music, right? So, but yeah, these things happen. And when we look back on them, especially with musicians that made companies millions of dollars dying broke, man, that's called exploitation. So when we seen that movie Sinners, that we felt that. That's why these people reviewing this movie, they're not qualified. Actually, I'm going to leave that comment in there that let them know that they're not qualified to review this movie in its proper context, because they can't feel what the intention of what this movie was. You have to be able to feel it. That Academy didn't do this out of no sympathy. It was a great movie. Great. It was felt. It was felt. Man.
Portraying vampires as metaphors for white exploitation that preys on black culture and dreams. I mean, am I supposed...
Not only did white America prey on black people, they preyed on everybody. Everybody. Yeah, it's just we're the ones, the majority of the so-called minority here, even though we're the majority in the world. We're not no minority of nothing. We're the majority and actually the only people. So yeah, it's crazy how this guy mad about them describing his movie like this, when in actuality, the Europeans have preyed on every kind of people on this land and over the world, all over the world. So it's just when you see people acting like, especially white people, acting like they don't know that. And these are some of the same kind of people that say, the Constitution of the United States wasn't built. Yes, it was built on all this ugly shit that you see right now today. Nothing is new.
I suppose this thing is obviously garbage. It's some woke nonsense. Am I really supposed to sit through?
Yeah, I said that earlier about woke. The people that want to demonize woke, they demonizing melanin. Melanin represents what's in that pineal gland. That's that third eye. That's that God. So this is the devil. This is devil talk. What we hearing right now is devil talk. That movie is a God. Sinners is a God visual. That's what it is. And what I'm speaking right now is God talk. To be able to discern what we hearing right now, to be able to understand completely and fully what this devil is saying. This is nothing but devil talk.
Get through this and watch this to critique it, or am I just like, this is like Hamilton. I knew Hamilton was crap, but it was the DEI best musical of all time. And then I finally watched it and I was like, guess what? It does suck.
I think you have to watch it, and I think you have to give us a review on Monday. Now, I don't want to ruin date night, because I'm actually already a little bit afraid that I would do that, because poor Carrie, your lovely wife, is going to have to sit there as you go from relaxed, affable buck to angry, furious at pop culture, and ultimately coming. But I do think you need to watch it. I haven't watched.
Some people shouldn't watch movies, man. Like, bro, it's and if you got to relate to certain movies, like it's movies I've seen I know I don't relate to, but I'm not like, oh, that was the worst movie in the world. Like, come on, man. Like, dude, you really acting crazy over a movie. Like, you just gonna just say, oh, I hate it, and wow.
Watched it, but look, here's an easy way to say this. What would happen? What would happen if you and I decided we wanted to make a vampire movie, and the bad guys were all black, and they just preyed on white people and killed them all day long, and they
made people like afraid to walk around the streets of their town, and
they already made them movies. That's the crazy part. What the hell? There's so many of them movies made. Planet of the Apes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, wow, how much racist can you be to make a movie called Planet of the Apes and make the bad black dark apes the bad guy? Come on, man. Damn, we seen them movies already. Damn, that's the the caveat, that's the real caveat of Sinners, is that it's flipping that narrative that Hollywood has been propagandizing to put out there. Now we're flipping it on its head, where we're actually, these movies, Sinners is actually quoting a relevant truth that happened, and it's still happening in the music industry to this day. This is what the music industry is based upon, right? And I'm sure, I'm not even gonna say that yet, but yeah, let's
Yes.
And it was all about like the lack of gratitude for all of the great things that
For
that's
Western
what this movie
civilization.
is in reverse.
If we just made this movie in reverse, it would be
got to be reverse about them. See, this is what's wrong with these crazy folks. They always think in reverse, thinking forward. That's what's wrong with these crazy ass. I can't watch no more of this shit. Y'all, I'm not gonna even tell y'all the name of this channel. Hopefully y'all never run across it. The only reason I ran across it is because of the title that I put in the what I searched up. But let's watch this. This from another.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome you guys to another episode of Here's What.
I am going to add the link to this in the description. Because I can tell by his title, he's on what I'm on. I just subscribed to him. I'm going to add the link to this in the description. Y'all support this channel.
Here's What I Think with your host, Charles Tabansi, where we discuss everything from current events, economics, politics, and how it all relates to business and life. And this is a show I am absolutely going to enjoy. Before we get into it, please make sure you like the video, sub to the channel. Also, make sure you follow me on Instagram. Bro. My handle is CTABANZ. Anyway, let's get into this topic here.
I like this channel already.
The reason I'm enjoying this is because this seems like it's on the same track as a video we produced. I believe it was last week or earlier. No, it must have been last week. Anyway, we recently produced a show of these MAGAs losing their mind over the recent Bad Bunny commercial. Right now, first of all, I want to publicly correct myself. I said in that video, and I was wrong, that Bad Bunny doesn't speak English. He does speak English. He sings in Spanish. All right, I want to put that out there because some people put that in the comments. So it's important that I come out here and say, hey, look, I shouldn't have said that. So he speaks English, but he sings Spanish music, right?
Yeah.
And these MAGAs are losing their mind. For goodness sakes, even TPUSA decided they're going to put together a show at the same time to run concurrently to their own Super Bowl show because, God forbid, an Hispanic guy is performing at the Super Bowl. My God. What is America turning in? These people are insane, right? Like, totally insane.
What they always been. Our presence alone makes them want to do this. If he haven't realized in his whole life when he's in public, they try to ignore us away like we're not even there. Yeah. So, of course, that's how they've been acting. I'm glad that they acting like this. Kid Rock, he from Detroit. You know how divided Detroit is? It's some people in Detroit that love Kid Rock. Kid Rock came up rapping with one of the best rappers that ever come from Detroit, Esham. Esham validated him, made him who he was. And then he's so MAGA and without the black urban inner city of Detroit, Kid Rock would have never emerged rapping at that time. Maybe he could have did the country music he doing now and emerged, but he took the route that was clear because rap was the most popular genre of the time. Grunge was dying. Right? So, but bro, Kid Rock, Detroit is so divided. 8 Mile divides the whole city. So you got some people that love Kid Rock. Some people that just can't stand Kid Rock. Actually, most people in black Detroit probably never even heard of him. That's how Detroit work. If you're not relevant, even if you're a black artist, they might not have ever heard of you. They like, who? So it's a whole lot of people probably don't even know who Kid Rock is and don't know. He's not from Detroit. He's from the outskirts of Detroit. I know a lot about him. I researched him. I used to be a fan when he was rapping, but when I found out what he on, I'm like, nah, I can't vibe with him. But yeah, back to what my man's saying, Charles Tabansi. That's the name of this channel. It looked like he had more than one channel because he have a plaque in the background. But so that must mean that he has because this channel only got 11.7 thousand subscribers. So he must have another. This must be another one of his channel. Oh yeah, this one called "Here's What I Think." So I'm sure this is a break off from one of his main channels. But yeah, he sound like a lot of my brothers, man, saying what has America come to. It's like, bro, you haven't felt this your whole life. America has always been like this. This is nothing new. It's just they're starting to, like, they can't hide it no more. See, and that's, to me, is a good thing. Because when you getting rid of your sickness, you start to cough it out. You can't keep that sickness in you. That means you're getting better when you start coughing that sickness out. So this represents them coughing that racist white supremacy lie that they've been trying to hold on to out. They just can't hold it no more. So it's a good thing.
Totally bigoted, totally racist. It's unbelievable, right? But anyway, people are losing their minds over that. And we did a show about that. Then we get the bombshell news. And I posted this on my Instagram last night. I was just scrolling through the internet and I saw a post. What account did I see it from? Was it the New York Times? One of these accounts, not important. Well, let me see. Do I have it here? I think it was the New York Post. No, the New York Times. That was correct. The New York Times. And I want to quickly put up the post for you guys to look at. It says, Sinners breaks all-time Oscar nomination records with 16 nods. The nominations for the 98th Academy Awards announced on Thursday were dominated by Hollywood's most endangered species, highly original studio-made films with hefty budgets. Ryan Coogler's Sinners broke the all-time Oscars nomination record with 16 nods, including for Best Picture and Best Actor. One battle after another earned 13. The ceremony will take place on March 15th, and Conan O'Brien will be returning as the host. So I saw this news, and I was gobsmacked. This post, by the way, generated 134,000 likes. Just likes alone, and over 1,200 comments. So after I saw that, I was going to post about it on the community board. But I said, no, this would be an interesting topic to talk about, because I had a suspicion that these MAGAs were going to be losing their minds
not a
over the fact that Sinners.
No, it's more than a suspicion, brother. We feel it. We feel it. When stuff like this happens, it's called, black progress. It always equals white response and trying to, keep us in our place. Yeah, it always, anytime any black progress is public, it's publicized, something a big deal, like Barack Obama becoming president. That's how we got Trump, yeah, it's going to be some backlash. Some white backlash going to come from this black progress of this movie. I'm sure they're developing one of the most racist white movies that ever came about right now. Going to be airing on Netflix and going to be #1 in the country, so they can support their white racist ideology. So yeah, we feel this because this is what always happens in this country.
Has the most Oscar nominations ever. Now, for full disclosure here, I saw Sinners this summer in what did I say? In New York. No, was it last summer? This summer, obviously, when 2026 there is no summer. Last spring, this summer, and I was there for my sister's graduation in New York. So I caught a movie with my sister and my mother. Now they took me to go see this movie on 42nd Street. I forgot what theater we went to, but anyway, my sister knew more about it than I did, right? Because when it comes to movies, man, if it ain't Batman or James Bond, I'm not really tapped in like that. But anyway, so she took us to go see this movie, and she took us to one of these theaters. I don't know what they're called. The theater where like the chairs move, and if there's water, they spray water. That was kind of pissing me off. Like I'm like, I didn't come here to take a bath, but basically that's what it was, right? But I watched the movie there, right? And to me, I viewed the movie as a piece of art. So my interpretation of it turns out that I was wrong. There are other people that interpreted it differently than me, but I thought it was definitely a good movie, right? I thought it was a good movie. So I just knew. given this whole, well, we're done with DEI, we're making America great again, wink, wink, and all of that stuff that's going on, I knew that these MAGAs were going to lose their minds. And ladies and gentlemen, that is exactly, I am absolutely correct in my thinking, because these bloody MAGAs have been losing their minds. So I want to pull up a quick post here from Twitter. This is from the account Cinema Tweets. This account has about 384,000 followers. And it says, breaking, Sinner sets new Oscar record, 16 nomination, blah, blah, blah. Let's go to the bottom and read the comments, shall we? Because this is where it gets really juicy. One guy wrote, revelation. Well, he has a flag on his picture, so you already know what this is about. You can't be serious. It was average entertainment at best, but trying to imply it's better than some of these is hilarious. Casablanca, Lord of the Rings, The Godfather, Avatar, Forrest Gump, Gone with the Wind, The Pianist, All About Eve, Deer Hunter, whatever. He says, we really supposed to take this seriously? Might as well just rename the Oscars the DEI Oscars. Oh, my Lord. So let me get this straight. You're saying that if a film directed by a black actor, starring black actors predominantly, becomes the most nominated Oscar film in the history of movies, the only reason they did it is because of DEI. Because blacks are incapable of producing a product of that caliber, right? That's what you're saying, correct?
Yeah, that's what.
Now, let me ask you a question with your races behind. Weren't there other films, including whites, actors and white directors, right? Wasn't it equal opportunity? Did they stop whites from making movies? No, they didn't, right? But because this movie starring blacks, directed by a black actor, got the most nods, all of a sudden it's DEI. Couldn't we turn around and say it's DEI too for, or I don't know the term, for where just white movies that do well? No, that's impossible. What do you mean? What do you mean?
Reverse DEI. Yeah, we don't think in reverse, right? We don't think in reverse. So we're not finna say reverse DEI. Yeah, that's how dumb and backwards y'all think. Y'all, that indicates how backwards y'all think when y'all would say reverse something. Reverse racism. There's no such thing as reverse racism, man. Racism isn't even real. That's the issue. Get to the root or the seed of the problem. Y'all want to keep on developing new fruit from the original bad seed. The reverse racism. Get the fuck out of here.
White people are the best at making everything, and blacks are dumb, right? We'll continue on. Here it goes. Another one. DEI hits the Oscars. Speaking as someone who has watched virtually every vampire movie made in the last 40 years, it was reasonably entertaining. It was a reasonably entertaining movie. Okay, you thought it was about vampires. Anyway, but if it had not been an almost entirely black cast and crew, it would have received 0 Oscar nomination, and everyone knows that. Can someone educate this idiot that there have been a lot of movies that were entirely black cast that never got Oscar nominated? Can somebody inform this gentleman here? Because I'm sure he doesn't know, right? This is what happens when your racism clouds your thinking, and then you're an idiot on top of it, right? You end up disseminating these kind of views to the public. We continue on. Another viewer said, so it's a decent watch then. Another guy said, come back to me when you have won 11 Oscars. Obviously, he's a Lord of the Rings, and I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan, by the way. A huge one. Another one, well-deserved best film of 2022 without question. Okay, it's another guy. Okay, so this is ridiculous. It was a good movie, but how in the world is this Oscar worthy? Another guy said, I mean, it's a good movie, but 16 nominations? Are we joking? Cinema is really in a bad place. Can you imagine? So all the other, if this movie didn't, let's say this movie didn't get any nods whatsoever, but all the other movies did, cinema would have been in a great place, right? And these comments just went on and on and on.
Yeah, and you know the sad part about what they think we represent, man. See that notion, and that's really why I created this channel, was to not only debunk that notion or theory that wherever black people is doing good, it must be the industry must be bad. or something got to be bad if we're thriving, right? And it's the thing. Not only are we good, it wouldn't be no people if we weren't as good as we were. To be able to survive, to become the humans that y'all are. Y'all have to give that to us. So not only are we the best, we are the only people. Everybody's black. Yeah, so if y'all putting us down, you're putting yourself down. We represent all humans. Everybody has our DNA in them. If you got human DNA, it's black DNA. That's what human DNA represent. Everybody's black. So yeah, that whole thing that y'all think that black people represent criminals and bad and anything, that same thing that Malcolm X said when he broke down what white and black mean. Like, y'all think black mean bad, like what it reads in the dictionary. But really, black is light, is God. Melanin, the darkness of melanin, it actually protected our whole being from being fried by that African sun. Without this melanin, you can't have life. So melanin is actually the exact opposite of how black is described. But I'm just saying the word black because that's the only word that y'all like to throw around when y'all talking about us. So I'm meeting y'all at y'all lower level when I say black, but I know what we really are. And matter of fact, I'm about to start I'm not even going to describe us as black no more because I understand the words, the power of words. So from here on out, I will be describing us as God. Yeah. The God people, the light people, the sunlight people. That's what we represent. The life people. We are all of that. We're not black, really. We are the only people. Yeah, so for y'all to think that when God people are doing good, that mean, oh wow, the whole industry must be in the bad place. Nah, bro. God people, we are the only people. So when y'all doing good, we are doing good. When Asian people are doing good, we are doing good. When anybody doing good, we doing good. Because everybody is us. That's how we look at when people doing good. We don't look at it like, oh man, it must be something because they did it. But actually, since the devil people seem to have this competitive thing that they always want to fight and destroy each other, we do tend to look at anything that y'all are associated with. It's like y'all are vampires. That's why that movie hit so hard. That's why Sinners hit so hard within our community, especially because we really look at anything that y'all might be associated, the white devil might be associated with as something bad. Because historically, since we've encountered y'all, that's all that has happened is calamity. It's bad. Everything bad. Nothing good. Nothing good. Right? So yeah, man, let's finish this video.
And on and on and on. What are my thoughts about this? As I said at the onset, I love this. I love to see these people just lose their minds. It's wonderful because what it does is it exposes their inherent racist views.
Yeah.
Do you know why?
Okay.
White movies have been nominated every single year for Oscars. Do you see people in the streets, black people losing their minds?
Never.
Do you know when I watch a movie, I don't care who made it. I just watch to see if it's good. That's all.
We don't care.
I don't think, oh man, it's a white director. Now, maybe you guys do. Some of these guys do because, bro, I don't view the world this way. But apparently
That's what I was
these
just saying.
guys do. And now
Yeah.
what is killing them is like they're looking at Ryan Coogler and they're looking at, I'm talking about physically looking at him. It's like, how does somebody that looks like him, this black,
And
do this?
They can't
Out of
feel
all of
him.
these white movies we've
They only looking at Ryan Coogler. They can't feel him though, like we do. We look at him, we like, oh, I see God. Oh wow. Ooh, I feel him. We look at him like, man, Ryan Coogler, boy, we look at you like, yes, sir. We fuck with him. We love Ryan Coogler because he represent us. He represent our spirit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's more than movies. He make more than movies. It's some things when we listen to Kendrick, we're listening to more than music. It's not just music, it's spiritual. It touch us. Yeah, and since we got dollars, we support them with our dollars. And they end up being very wealthy. But guess what? We know that they make the money and the money don't make them. So we keep supporting them because they are grounded. We love them men. We feel them. Y'all can only see us because y'all only see images. Y'all don't know how to look with underneath the surface and feel somebody. And that's what y'all don't understand when y'all watching these movies and listening to certain music that we make, is that you can't just use your senses. You can. It's a deeper sense that we have, and it relates to how we look. But y'all don't even understand that. Y'all think when y'all see Ryan Coogler, y'all see a black man. No, we see and feel a God man. And apparently he look at himself like that, which is the most important part of the equation.
We've had directors, how did he do this? Because to them, if blacks succeed, in their minds they lost. That's how they view it.
That's exactly how they look at it. Oh my Lord, yeah. I'm so glad I subscribed to this channel. Yeah, if we winning, they look at, because they have a competitive. They come from a world of competing and building up arms and trying to go to war and like not individual like type of disagreements or tribal or little tribes in Africa, little disagreements, based on little things. They go to war over the littlest shit. They go to war over a lie, over a complete lie, just mass hysteria. They just want to go to war just because. Anyway, that's what their whole traditions is based on war, competition. That's not a human characteristic. That is a European characteristic. That's not distinct to Africa. Africans, we come up in a place where, guess what? We know the power of words. We understand certain lines, certain things you just don't do, morals, right? And we understand the power of influence on each other. And we take that personal. That's part of our being. We don't look at it we don't try to exploit that. We look at that as a part of our spirit thing, our spiritual component. So it is interpersonal with black people, how we interact with each other. Very deep. And that's what we will fight over that, right? If a person don't know how to control his emotions. Most of the time with the ones that know how to control their emotions, we know how to channel disagreements between each other and become even tighter with those people, right? So, but within the European culture that they come from, we're talking thousands of years, they actually became what their environment allowed them to be, which was have all of the things that they needed to have time to build up wars, to create the weapons they created. They pretty much represent human beings having access to too much and forgetting who they really were. in the beginning. And that is really what makes them a live wire in general. That makes them a wild card at any given time. We don't know what they might do. They don't know what they might do. You know, that's why when the economy drop down, you know, a lot of them start offing themselves. They start killing themselves. You know, they get mad at their spouse over a football game. They shoot her, kill her, and kill themselves. They don't know what they're going to do. They just wild. They do drugs. They love drugs. They think that they can abuse anything. That's what makes them dangerous in general to themselves, first and foremost, because they are in each other's proximity at the most of the time.
If a black person or a person that comes from a diverse a minority group succeeds, somehow we lost. Who are the richest people in Hollywood? Are they not white?
Right. Damn, we can't have a penny.
Richest directors, do you want me to tell you? James Cameron, Steven Spielberg, George Lucas. Spielberg and Lucas are both billionaires. Lucas owns, or used to own, I believe, Industrial Light Film, the CGI company. I don't know if he still does, but he owns that. Spielberg was one of the partners for DreamWorks, right? I think DreamWorks and Pixar, like, they're acting like as if they...
And I'm sure Coogler looks up to them. You see what I'm saying? That's who he aspires to be. But the average white racist person that's watching Coogler's ascension think that it's something wrong. DEI. They mad. How you mad with this man's success? That's what black people, we trying to figure. That's why I'm doing this whole podcast in the first place, man. I just be trying to figure out what is the problem. Our presence alone, though, that's what I always say. Our presence alone upsets them. So it ain't even got to be Ryan Coogler. It could be little old me riding around in raggedy ass Flint in my nice ass Maserati on a nice warm day, listening to my music, rims clean, got my woman in the passenger seat, we chilling, got my daughter in the back seat, she's situated with her iPad, chilling, minding our business, and it could be a white racist person throwing an egg at my car, you know? Like, wow. That kind of stuff make me happy. I love it. I love that hate. See, and that's what my man's speaking on. He said he loved it. He loved this.
If they lost something because another group was recognized and it wasn't them. And they're saying that this is what this DEI implies. Black people can only be noticed, can only go forward if they have assistance. They're not capable of doing things without help. And when they do something great, all of a sudden it's because someone gave them a helping hand. This is how these people.
Yeah, that's how they think. That's exactly how they think. You know, in their mind, we was in Africa, we was fucked up. You know, we wouldn't be living without their assistance. You know, not knowing if it wasn't for the Africans in Africa, you wouldn't even have life. That's the crazy part, man. These people, that's why I said earlier, they got so much materially that they worship that shit. They don't understand there's different ways of being human beings. They don't understand there's certain parts of the world that don't need all of that abundance that they have acquired in that land with that moderate climate all year round that allows all them crops to exist and for them to even be the kind of human beings they are. It's certain places like Africa with like 4 different climate zones that don't require, that can't do what they do and still exists. It's just different. It's no better. They think in competition. We think, like I said, black people, we think in terms of spirituality, what's felt. The Asians think in terms of cooperation, community, you know, social things. That's why they are comfortable in that communist society. It matches who they are. But that's why we got the capitalist system with this Western, because it matches who they are. Individuals. You know, that's how they think. Excess. You know? but they can't understand that they have a group of people in this country that are exactly nothing like them. And our spirit is nothing like them. Not only do we not need no help from white people or any other people, your life you wouldn't even have life without us. Let that marinate. And that's the thing about this information age. When we starting to learn these things, it's really driving a lot of these racist white folks crazy to know that they come from the people that they thought needed their assistance the most. And they still trying to hold on to it. No, Ryan Coogler don't need no help from nobody. He is a man made in God's image. He's perfectly made.
People think, and some of their jackass black MAGAs
Oh, my Lord.
feel like, oh, man, I want to be a part of this movement here. These are the black MAGAs. No one is a bigger embarrassment than the black MAGAs.
I mean,
no one. Because they want to be a part of a coalition that doesn't view them as equals. But they still are begging to be a part of. Go ask Vivek Ramaswamy. With all of his hundreds of millions, or he's a billionaire, look how they treat him. You think these people really like you? They're losing their minds over the fact that a black director has the most Oscar nominations in history. They can't stand it. But you think, oh, they like my black ass. Number one. Number two, when you see these kind of things, these black MAGAs, how do y'all feel? Let me guess. You know what they feel? Because I chat with some of them from time. They think it's correct. They think that these guys are pretty much on the money. That it must have been a DEI, some type of DEI mechanism that was at play here, some type of DEI apparatus that made it possible for these guys to get 16 votes, 16 Oscar nominations. This is what they think. This is what they think.
Of their own self.
So I'm loving this, and we're definitely going to follow this story because I cannot wait to see the tier. But when is the Oscars? I think the Post said when is the Oscars going to be?
March 15th.
Oh, it's going to be on March. I haven't watched the Oscars in a long time. Oh, you better believe, and you better believe this: these people are going to be praying to whoever it is they pray to, because some of them I don't believe is God they pray to, that this movie doesn't win a single Oscar. Now it's turned into. Can it, and if it wins, let's say less than 7 Oscars, you see, it could never stand up to the white mind. And the white, this is what these people are, man. This is what this group is all about. Thank God I'm not a part of this madness and that,
me too.
That movement that I am so proud of myself that I don't support them. I am so proud of myself. Let me clap for myself for not being a part of MAGA and not being a black MAGA. I clap for myself. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think.
Yeah, I don't know if it's worth all that because it don't even exist. So anybody that's part of it is not real to me. Yeah. So, man, that was great. That was great. I added the link to that channel. Like I said, it's Charles Tabansi, and it's called Here's What I Think. Yeah, that's the name of the channel. So I guess this channel is a dedicated to his certain segments that he have, which I'm about to start doing segments on my channel as well. About to start doing segments on here. One of the main segments that I'm planning on doing real soon is a segment. Actually, I might do my first one tonight, matter of fact, because I'm in the mood. I don't plan on spending too much time watching that game. I might just be getting updated on it. And yeah. So yeah, I plan on doing my first official segment of a channel on my channel called Where Were You? And that segment will be dedicated to certain historical events, certain relevant times and topics that's interesting to me. Like the night after Obama was elected, where were you? What were you doing? What was your lived experience? If you're old enough to remember that, which most people watching this channel should be. I think this is the class of, the kids born in 2008 graduate this year, right? Yeah, class of 26. Yeah, so the year that Obama got elected, this was the year that they were born. That's crazy. Wow, that's crazy. And they'll be able to vote this year. And it's a very important vote this year. So the kids that were born in '08, when Obama got elected, will be able to vote in the midterms this year, which is a very, very important vote. Probably way more important than Obama getting in. Because, when Obama got in, we were just simply trying to get away from Bush, inept self, just a Nepo baby, had his father was a president. That was the only way he really got elected in the first place. And, they voted him in to buck Clinton's 8 years. So, this whole thing that I've been going through, my adult life has been a bunch of retaliatory type of politicians getting in office. But yeah, I'm actually gonna start that segment tonight. I know it's gonna be a lot of people watching the Super Bowl. At my job tomorrow, gonna be the first day that people gonna call in. It's every year. Every year they call in. Every year. I think I might do an episode on that. You know what I'm saying? People gonna call in tomorrow. I don't know. But either way, this is Marlon Speaks Live. Thank everybody. We're on our way to 1,000. We got 300 more subscribers than I did when I first started this channel, which was in the middle of December. Man, I really appreciate everybody tuning in, chiming in, and just, supporting me in any way. In any way. I look at the data, I look at the statistics, and a lot of the comments, I just let y'all talk within the comments. I don't really say too much, but sometimes I do. If I get called out, I will respond. But the majority, I see all the comments. I see everything. And I appreciate everybody getting into my comments and liking and sharing. And just, let's just keep it going, man. Look, I'll be back with more Marlon Speaks Live. I'm out. One.
Yo, it's Marlon Speaks Live. Yeah, I'm saying what they hide. History uncensored, let the real survive. Yeah, it's truth over comfort, I don't pick no side. If it shake the room a little, let the truth collide. Cause it's Marlon Speaks Live. No script, no disguise. I don't sell no lies, just to monetize. Cause the past still breathing and it never dies. Yeah, it's Marlon Speaks Live. Now the truth will rise.